Germans rejoice as we've got a big matchup on our hands. It's Big versus mousesports. Obviously one German team, one German organisation, but it's going to be a fun couple of maps anyway. My name is Hugo. Again with me is John. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling revitalised after that break. We did have quite a relatively long pause because, of course, a 16-3 scoreline doesn't take very long to come through.
Yeah, a bit of a stomp. But now we've got I'd say probably my favourite matchup of the night. Hopefully a close one as well. Obviously it's going to be mousesports and the European kind of mix. And we've also got Big, the team that made it up for ESL Mountain Dew League last season, into this season of Pro League. Definitely a deserved spot. Obviously they had a great performance in the major. I think that's where most people kind of kept their eyes out for them. They've fallen off a little bit since then, but at least in this online season of EPL, they've been pretty good, putting themselves high up the board. So hoping to see something good from them tonight. But again, mousesports, always a strong contender. Into Cbble we go, though. Full armor for the mousesports side, a bit of utility for Big as they set up on the T side, and already a boost up for Sunny in the drop down.
Playing aggressive lead there. They have, and that's, we were talking about this map before. This is one of the aggressive plays that the CTs can have, is boosting up in that drop position, especially on a map like Cobblestone where it's relatively difficult for them to take those positions. They really need to try and be proactive in the ways that they can, and they've done just that by putting Sunny up there. B site, standard aggression here coming out for the side of Big.
Oh, nice spot for him. B gets the information. They throw a couple of smokes towards A, but mainly it's going to be the utility going over the B site as we see this push in. Lots of CTs on defense, but only actually 2 committed to the bomb site. That's going to be Stiko sitting on the statue, goes down to Nex, and Chris J has to hit something. No one's connecting any shots of mousesports. Everyone's dying. And Oscar's going to be caught off on the rotation. What a brutal round. No one hitting their shots here for the CT side.
Yep, they have just been run straight through. mousesports do not really offer any defense against the Big side. They had that proactive position. They had the players in the right places, but as you said, it just came down to the fact that they couldn't hit their shots. And then, well, at the end of the round, the scores lie 1-0, and, well, they really come out looking like Big is going to go for another repeat action here, as they do set up once more towards this B-bomb site. Nex has the AK, UMPs across the board. The only thing standing in their way pretty much is a scout on Chris J.
Even then, not going to be a big contender. mousesports really don't have a lot to work with. Deeg's going to be good on Sunny, but he hasn't got armor to support it at least. It's just going to be Big, as you say, setting up outside of B. 1 AK, so not the best equipped, but again, against quite a few players without armor, no head armor apart from Stiko. UMP should be good enough here, and 1 AK as well, but it's a risky play. Luckily, drop allows for these SMGs to be so lethal in close range, but they're going to be taking their time. Big not continuing to hit. They actually fall on back with the bomb as well in tow, leaving just Tabson to create a bit of a distraction down towards this B site. The scout posted, hits a shot, he gets tagged, but Big are about to walk into the completely empty A bomb site.
Oh, Tabson straight through the smoke. He's going to be able to spray down Chris J, and that's a really nice opening pick there. That leaves them absolutely wondering what they're going to be able to do, because that puts pressure on that B bomb site, and all of the players, as you can see, are just all over that B bomb site on the CT side. But Big have taken that initiative. They've rotated away, and they are putting that aggression on towards the A bomb site. Now, the rotate's starting to come through. Next, going to be closest to the action. Oscar has to fall back, though. And are we going to see a full save here? Yeah,
probably. To be honest, Big, they completely just walked into the MTA site. They didn't even put too much of a heavy fake down on B. They just showed some presence. mousesports kind of went, okay, let's just take that risk, take that stack. Again, with the kind of equipment the Mouse had into this round, they weren't going to win the round without a stack, so this makes the most sense. They can set up again next round. They can, bring the scout forward for Chris J again, and they have another option to pick up their round. But
oh,
Oscar at least doing damage to the scout. I was surprised mostly when I saw him just on a P250 after not piling up anything into this round. But either way, should be a clean one for mousesports to hold on. Another round in the board for Big as they look to just hold onto every single weapon, don't chase any more than they need to. And mousesports again, next round can just set up and repeat it, and hopefully they'll get luckier this time.
Yeah, so 3 UMPs, 1 AK saved in, and they will be able to buy up. I'm imagining they're going to go for an SMG, potentially. Oh, no, another AK. that does make more sense.
Yeah,
What am I talking about?
the reason you put another AK into this round over an SMG is, you know, if you win this, mousesports are then going to buy. So if you go for another UMP, all that does is mean that when you win the round and mousesports buy them next round, they have rifles and you're limited to UMPs. You better get AKs, because then you don't have to reinvest in the guns after you clean up this anti-eco. It makes a lot more sense. And again, 3 UMPs is enough to get the job done. You don't need to pull up any more to farm money, because at that point you're still not paying back all the guns with the kills you're getting. Either way, Big just taking things slow again. This time not going to go too fast into this one. A little bit of backstory as well I feel is necessary for this match. Yesterday, mousesports 16-2 Big on this exact map. They 2-0'd them in a best of 3 series. I think it was a 16-4 and a 16-2 on Cash and Cbble respectively. And yeah, now Big are leading, so at least off to a good start.
Well, we're going to see at least 16-2.
Maybe again, who knows?
Yeah, it could all turn at the drop of a hat, but mousesports have yet to lose a player. They have taken a bit of damage, but they've given out as good as they got. Big players just trying to find their way into any of these bomb sites, trying to gain any information. They've run the clock down now to 46 seconds, so they have to make their choice here. They don't have, obviously, this late in the round, you don't have a lot of options when it comes to going in and trying to rethink your strategy, so you need to commit here. Cbble in a absolutely crucial position, and Sunny finds one with the Deagle. Next trades it back, and now it looks like they're going to put their forces towards that A-bomb site. Oscar, yet again, trying to find those shots, but it's going to be Stico able to get the shot off finally, as he has traded out, and now they start to continue to push on towards the A-bomb site. The bomb hasn't been planted yet. 15 seconds left on the clock. There's going to be Rops getting taken down as well, and now it's just Cbble that stand between mousesports and a 3-0.
Yeah, I'm not expecting this from him, but we'll see if he can get any damage done. Take a rifle away, that could be helpful, but next will finish him off at the drop of a hat. And Big, they pick up their 3rd round. So clean start, but now Mouse are back on the buy. And again, we know they're good at this map. They did just pick it up again the other day versus this exact team, so it shows its potential. But again, new day, everyone's playing differently. Big are off to the start, so they actually have a bit of confidence in themselves coming into this matchup. Take into account as well, Mouse are currently 2nd last in the board for EPL this season, 3-7 currently, so not putting up a great performance so far. Whereas Big, they're at the top 6, so you know this is the team that you expect to pick up this series. But again, anything can happen.
Looking to once again threaten this A-bomb site. Have that position, have that stance, that forward stance towards the long on the side of A. They are just trying to edge their way ever in closer. Start to surround those CTs on the hold. Pushing down now further into the sewer position. They are just going to back off once again. Big taking a very, very passive attitude towards this map so far. They do go for that early push towards a location, but that's just for the information. They then pull back, reevaluate, and it seems to be going well for them. Even if they are running the clock down quite low, they seem to have gathered momentum. 3-0 now into the first full rifle.
Yeah, not towards B, they'll put their eyes. Stico mollied forward. This is typically where he would fall back, but instead playing on the edge of the smoke is going to be dangerous. And again, Big, all they're trying to do is bait utility right now. They're trying to make sure mousesports have nothing to work with, get these nades out of their hands, throw their utility, because if you see, Big are still doing this tactically. They still hold on to their smokes while, you know, getting a lot of presence across all areas of the map. They've got 4 smokes left with only 30 seconds left, and a Molotov as well. As they start to throw them over towards the A site, mousesports are going to have nothing to contend. They've got to take aim battles, and Sunny, he's already flashed out of middle. It's Oscar to pick one up on long in response, but still he's alone on the A site. A rotation from balcony from Rops, but Tabsom's coming in from the back line, so Robs has got to watch above him. Oscar, another shot with the AWP. Time is ticking away. Big don't have seconds to play with. His next does get the return kill, but still leaves Oscar in the site. He can stop the bomb plant, and there's just no time. They've left it in the middle of the site. Massive mistake from Big, and Stico just has to stay alive. It's perfect. 1 round for mousesports, but what a mess.
Just left it too late. I was saying Big singing their praises about, you know, having that foresight to leave it late into the round, but if you leave it too late, things like that happen, and when mousesports have the rifles, they have the power to stop you dead in your tracks, and that's exactly what they were able to pull off there in round 4. Big taking the first loss of this half so far. Double AWP being picked up now. Kiev Just going to grab that second one. And Max 7 put into the hands of Rops, so I'm imagining he's going to be playing towards that drop position.
But this is just the brutal thing about CS, right? mousesports pick up the round, but just because of how the economy's been going from big, they have a better buy into this. We have one rifle for the CT side, despite finding the previous. And, you know, Mag 7, 3 UMPs is not a good buy for mousesports, not by any means. And on top of that as well, they only have one kit. They have a couple of Molotovs, yes, but really nothing. And as a result, they're going to get aggressive. Well, it's uncommon, and at least on Cobblestone, it's usually just due to you having limited equipment, wanting to play close ranges. You know, Mag 7 and drop down, boosted up, for example. You know, we've got someone pushed up towards long on B. These are all positions where mousesports are trying to get picks, but Legia knows exactly what's going on. He's seen Chris J throw that smoke from the right side, so he's going to expect it, but Chris just walking on back. AWP striking on long and big with the first kill.
Tabson on the flank. Not needed, though, as they have evacuated that location entirely. Rops now full on the rotate. They do smell what's going on. Tabson starts to lead the charge, and they are just going to fall back a little bit, drop their smokes. Again, 40 seconds left on the clock. Don't want to have a repeat of last round. Let's go for the execute relatively quickly. Time still ticking away now, as the CTs have almost all but fully rotated. They have left one player on that B site, Chris J. And now they are going to start to push on towards the A bomb site. 24 seconds they've got to do this. 24 seconds they have to clear this site completely. Nix does exactly what he needs to do there, but there is a spanner in the works in the form of Rops. The bomb hasn't been planted, and he is able to deny it. There's still 10 seconds left on the clock, and now it's Chris J to try and deny it. The bomb is in the hands of the terrorists. It is going to get planted. They do have enough time. Chris J not able to deny that one, and he's just going to fall back, save that UMP.
It's an awkward spot as well for Chris J, because while Rops is making that play, Chris J can't push in, he can't go and support, because off the back of Rops dropping the bomb with only a few seconds remaining, Chris J is just playing passive, because he knows, okay, if Rops can drop the bomb and leave it with too little time, they might not be able to plant. So Chris J has to stay alive for the CTs to win the round, but that means he can't support Rops. So it's always an awkward spot to be in there. Big will pick up a fourth round again. I wasn't expecting too much from mousesports with their limited buy coming in, so it's very unfortunate as Big actually get the reset onto them. This will force mousesports into a full eco. They could force in theory, but they would only have $1,400. They've put everything into this round, so Big looking good on the T side to start things off. And yeah, look at the money for the CTs. A couple of players for 2K, majority 1,400. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the UMP, but what more can you really grab from that? Maybe a couple of pistols, CZs being picked up, actually. Oh, and another UMP. Yeah. They're just going to full... Yeah, so they're going to full force that.
I mean, they got a double eco regardless, so there's no real issue with fully investing here. Stiko saves.
Kiev up in the tower. Not really seen too much these days, but they are expecting some aggression from the CTs, and wisely biding their time. But the stack is going to go over towards that B bomb site. Actually, Big are moving in towards there, so potentially a correct move from mousesports, but still you see Kiev just holding firm in that turret, as it's going to be Oscar just falling back. Was going to go for the face, but I don't know if he spotted him out or something like that, but he isn't going to push out any further. A lot of posturing going on now for Big towards that B-bomb site. Drop looks like it's the focus, and they're going to execute pretty much any second. They don't want to run down that timer anymore.
No, got to be very careful with this one, but at least outside of B, they can just charge in and get the bomb down. Seems like they will do exactly that. A minute left on the clock, they start to take control. Legia shooting allows a drop from Tabson. That won't be heard. The CTs, though, giving up so much control, are aware of the possibility, and Rops is sitting on the other side. Legia ready to make the peak. This is so close. Finally commits to it, but he gets spotted. Dinks both ways in through the wall. Both players heavily tagged, but still Big are going to commit towards this B site. They've not got any other option with 30 seconds left. There's the first entry. Key finds it, and GodB pushes up towards the plateau, but it's going to be Sunny close to deny one. However, only one, leaving two CTs left, only one within the site, and the other one rotating. This seems like Big are in the perfect spot, but as I say that again, the bomb gets dropped. Oscar finishes him off, but it's Tabson to respond. So a close round for Big, but they will pick it up.
They were on such low HP as well. Kiev had the most with 20 HP there, so it really, really could have gone either way there. Unfortunately, Mouse were not able to put it up. And as you said, this is the second of their eco round, so they will be able to pick up the next rifle round.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. They need to come in strong, and they need to be able to win that one. Otherwise, Big are going to start to take that commanding lead that they really don't want to see, especially after having such a brutal victory yesterday on this exact map.
Sneaking into B though. Next, he's got lots of close players. Only a couple of P250s, and USPs are not going to be as dangerous, but they're going to double peek him. This could be dangerous. He spots it. There's one. Needs to get a little bit more done, though, as there's so many more T's left. Got B will assist him in the damage as he finds Stiko, but still, Nex is tagged down, and Oscar, rallying off shots with the USP, will eventually be silenced. Tabson just jumping into the site. And Big flexing their muscles a little bit. They lose one player in the process, but Nex shouldn't be facing here. It should be down to Tabson or any of the other players with health. It's actually going to be Rops pushing close, but Tabson cleans it up, sorry. Big with a 6-1 lead. Nothing special there, only an anti-eco. But here's the buy from mousesports. Here's where we see what they're made of on the CT side.
The AWP being picked up and chucked over to Oscar. He's going to be the proud owner of the green gun. Starting to just line them up. So no head armor being bought on any of the mousesports players, which fair enough. AK's AWP, you don't really need it. You can put that money towards the smokes, which you can see they've got 5 of those. They have that line of smoke when they need it. They just need to not waste it, because Big have been playing this feast or famine approach of leaving the clock down to the last sort of only one push opportunity. And if they are able to keep hold of those smokes when they need them, delay them long enough, Big will have the advantage, but it means mousesports really need to just win the Angels, and that's what it will come down to.
But again, you know, Big have been so good at baiting out utility so far this map, so mousesports, even with a lot of utility to work with, won't be able to hold them down for too much longer, because Big are just experts at that, apparently. As we now see them set up towards the A side of things, one player in the drop down, Tabson just trying to make a bit of a fake. And Oscar on the other side, smoke out, they'll push with it. He has the AWP though, and he'll get one. Kiev to trade. A 1-for-1 going to favour Big, as it makes the A defense slightly weaker, meaning just Sunny to defend against 3 players pushing through middle. But Rops is going to pre-rotate, so he comes in for a bit of support. But again, they still got to worry. Now with Rops moving away from the connector, Tabson has the option of dropping in through the drop down and getting damage done. But Big, as they always do, rotating back towards B and reconsidering their options.
36 seconds left now. They still have an even number on the board. They have got a little bit more utility, and that's going to mean that they have a couple more men as well. The bomb moving on towards this B bomb site in the midst of this CT confusion. The rotates may or may not be coming out here. Stiko stuck on that site. He's going to go for the spray, but he gets taken down there by Nex with the headshot, and now 2 players left for mousesports. 10 seconds left on the clock though. The bomb going to get planted. Kiev still holding on that A bomb site, so if they do want to go for this save, they have a lot of danger coming in. Turning the corner, misses the shot, and he gets taken down. So that's an AWP going to be put into the hands of Rops. And oh no, he did pick it up again. He did throw it away, but that's double AWP. Tabson could go for the face here. Does come off unscathed as he just jumps up the top, but they do know where they are now. Nex is going to be pushing in, closing the jaws of the pincer, ever drawing nearer as it is Tabson and Nex. Rops, Chris J to hold with the AWP. That's going to be the push close. The no-scope sails wide, and Nex finds 2 kills. And that is going to be no gun save. An AWP and an AK for Big. And they are going to put 7 rounds on the board against the 1 for mousesports.
Yeah, not only do they only have 1 round, but they have no money now. So it's going to be the pause coming out for the mousesports players. Only 3k left in the bank, and while a bit more loss bonus will be coming into effect next round, it's still not looking great for these guys. This is a map that they won 16-2 yesterday, and now they're going down 7-1. Not exactly the scoreline you'd expect. Literally quite the opposite of yesterday. But either way, a good performance from Big so far. We've seen some close rounds. We've seen them get the bomb down with 10-15 seconds remaining, but they have been doing it. So at the end of the day, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But all it's going to take is a couple more buys for mousesports to eventually kind of work out how Big are doing this. If they can hold on to their utilities, we've talked about, you know, flash out these players, leave it to the last second pushes, and not play aggressive on the CT side, then that's where, you know, we could see mousesports get themselves back on the board. Assuming they just play the sites and don't play middle, don't play up, you know, aggressive positions on long, Big won't be able to get picks.
We've talked a lot about how it could be Big playing late into the round that's causing mousesports to use all their utility. But on the flip side, it could be the opposite. It could be that mousesports are using all their utility, so it forces Big to play late into the round. So, you know, you've got that sort of trade-off that there's potential there as they do actually go for an uncharacteristic early start to the push, and Tabson makes it work for them. Rops lands the headshot to trade it back, and able to pick himself up an AK for his trouble, so he is going to be the linchpin on the B bomb site, and it looks like they are just going to push back, but straight into the waiting arms of Oscar. Kiev has his spidey senses tingling and is able to land the shot against the flank coming in from mousesports.
Yeah, and that's a B site now with 2 players on for CT, and Big just walking up into the MTA bomb site. So a free round for them, it seems. It's just down to whether Legia can hold the rotations if they do want to get aggressive into the T spawn, but I imagine they'll just save on B. It's always a risk. And wow, Big. They really are overthinking this round. They're very worried of this AK now picked up on Rops. They're going to throw all their utility into A, but they're actually going to walk back into the B site, exactly where mousesports was just looking to hold on to. So now they're walking into the site, which could be dangerous. And with Sunny being aggressive, he could even catch out Keeve here. This is suddenly all going badly for Big. They've got to be worried here, but luckily that will bring things back into reality. Keeve shuts down Sunny, leaving just Rops on the B side, but he's been spotted. That was unfortunate. Tries to play the trigger discipline, tries to allow Legia to cross so he's, you know, unspotted within the site, but he gets taken down. So 8-1 to Big. It gets close, but now we see the buy-up for mousesports.
No cigar. As the AWP gets once more put into the hands of Oscar. Chris J finds a second one as well. He's going to be coming up against Keith. He's been absolutely devastating on that AWP. Both Oscar and Keith have been super accurate with their shots, and they've been landing them when they need to and in precise fashion as you can ask for. Meanwhile, Next, just sort of top fragging on his team, is going to start to lead the charge on towards the bomb site. Taking a slightly passive-aggressive stance, let's call it that. He's got a far-up position, but he isn't sort of doing too much with it, and Chris J is just going to shut it down immediately. Sees the player, clicks the player's dead, as they do continue to push on towards the sites, but they are going to instead look to take up their positioning in towards that connector, and Oscar could have something to say about it, but it does get fully flashed out.
Oh, that's amazing!
One and a second on the headshot is going to get traded through as Keeve just finds another one and turns around and shoots down Sunny. Clouds go across the screen for mousesports.
That play is so clever from Tabson, because the whole point is there's a player holding down connector, not allowing him to cross into the site, so the players in B don't have to worry about the connector door. Tabson flashes out the player over towards A, runs in, and before he kills the player holding him down in the connector, he focuses on killing the players that have their back to him, because there's no way they're going to be watching the back. They know that there's a player in the connector holding that. So he just jumps in before the communication is passed along and takes both kills. Really, really good play from Tabson. Really clever as well. It's now Big. Again, they extend this lead even further, and they're going to potentially even get double digits unless these pistols can show up. Already losing one. Oscar's going to go down on A long. Big just starting to walk up for free again, but this hardly means a commitment. These guys have been very, very careful before they commit to a site, so they can always fall on back. And with that pick going down towards B as Stico pushes up towards long, Big may reconsider their options once again.
Sunny holding firm, hiding around the corner. They may have an inkling that he's there, but they have no intel of that yet. The bomb still towards this A-bomb site as they do start to push through. Sunny now spots the shadow, spots the head, manages to land the shot as well, picks up the AK and turns it onto Keeve, and now all of a sudden they're brought even on the score lines. Sunny has to hold this position. This is a very smart push through, because they're going to be expecting him to have fallen back to the bomb site, but he is in fact behind them, watching for those pushes up, and he isn't keeping track of that location. God, B just drops down.
No.
Is he going to be able to get the kill? Turns around, and it's going to be Rops that comes out on top, and all of a sudden, Big are on the back foot. They have one player left standing versus 3. Has the bomb in tow. Is going to spot out a player on the bomb site. Taken down very low. Rops has to have his wits about him here, and it's going to be just enough to close it out, and mousesports take their second round and put it up on the board.
Yeah, and a great round to win. Good play from Sunny up on long, especially to get that damage done. Look at this. Get TAK and just finishes off Keeve. Really good stuff. So 2 rounds found, and considering that wasn't one we expected as well, that will give them an extra bit of money, allowing that double AWP back in play that we saw a couple of buys ago. But again, it didn't have any effect this time. It needs to show up, because Big, they are performing very well. Next especially up at the top of the board for the team. I think he's currently on 16, 17 kills, something ridiculous like that. They will be setting up outside of B, but with the bomb positioning right now, Big again just trying to bait out the utility, trying to force maybe mousesports to make some early rotations, and then they'll be falling back towards A. That seems to be the general plan for now. But currently, mousesports, they have such deep players in A site, their rotation is going to take so long, and they are therefore allowed to spot this mid presence. Sunny already seeing one damage done onto Next there, but he won't finish off the job.
Not quite. A sliver of health left alive on him as Tabson finds one as well. Taken down very, very low also, so it only takes a couple of shots from Rops to be able to tear through those two. Those two AWPs. Going to be trying to find the shots onto the full HP players, but they'll take what they can get. Rops is going to be playing on the hold towards drop, and it's Tabson who looks like he wants to take the face there, and they are going to be coming up against Oscar if they do opt to push down the long towards Plateau. Just charging up right now. They have got 37 seconds left on the clock. Back to basics. Take your time. Peek your angles carefully, methodically. Push into the site. Rops now is going to be able to spot out God B. And that's going to be one to spot it out. Taken down very low, but God B actually takes down Nex. And that is going to put them even once more. Don't know if he spotted the cross. Is going to be able to spot out the player. And he isn't able to get the refrag. Not quite able to land the shot. And there's Keeve able to close it down. The bomb is picked up, but Chris shuts it down. And that is going to be a very nice round picked up for mousesports.
Yeah, but a very close one as well. Only one player left standing. So considering they had the double up into that, it's going to quite, bring quite a lot of effect onto their economy. They're still going to be able to buy up, but either way, it's going to be their last if they do so lose this big, calling out a tactical pause. And at 9-3 as well, that's a ballsy pause to call out. There's no real need for Big to do that. You know, they're in such a good lead here on the first half. Considering this is T-side as well, I mean, you know, you can argue this is T-sided or CT-sided. Data suggests many different things because, again, you know, it's more, do you count LAN matches, do you count online matches, do you count underdog versus overdog, or not overdog, but underdog versus expected winner, or do you count, you know, grand finals only? It's with Cobblestone being T-sided, there's a lot of differing opinions. I, for one, think it is, but not by a massive margin. I'd say this map is still pretty close. I'd say 8-7, 9-6 in favour of T, maybe just 8-7. But Big taking their pause, taking some time to work out what they want to do, and the double or back in for mousesports. So it had effect in the previous round. As long as that can continue, and they could be off to a good form and bring this back to a 9-6.
Cobblestone may not be favourite in terms of tactical, but I have to say, it's one of my, I think it's one of the best looking maps in the game. Designed after, you know, 16th century French castle architecture. Beautiful, beautiful lines coming through. So even though it might not be a fan favourite when it comes to Counter-Strike, I think it's a bit of a work of art.
And I know you're a massive fan of architecture.
I'll tell you what, I worked at Hampton Court Palace for 2 years.
I mean, that's the reason you came to Leicester as well. You didn't want to cast Pro League. You just wanted the free trip, so you could actually just spend your time looking at the architecture. And
you have no idea.
You're just such a big fan. And to observe as well, as our production tells.
To observe the architecture, sure.
To observe the architecture. Flash into middle, Big starting to push. The AWP shot will be missing for mousesports. Legia gets a second chance at life, and he's not going to be risking that again. Just sits in middle. The bomb outside of B for the meantime, and these T's looking like ready to walk in. Drop control taken from God B, but it's going to be Chris J holding the angle. Nice shot to kick things off, but they're still up towards the plateau. Stiko needs to bail out his teammate, and bail he will. 2 kills there with the M4, leaves just Tabson and Legia to pull things back, but again, in classic Big style, they don't have a lot of time to work with, and the bomb's dropped, but Tabson picks up 2 kills, leaving just Legia.
Does he have a Legia to stand on? Let's see as he pushes up, and it's going to be Sunny shutting him down. 9-4 now, the scoreline. mousesports coming in strong late in this first half. And they are putting rounds on the board. They do need to come to that 9-6 scoreline, as you said. That's sort of what you expect from a Cobblestone game. And Big, despite that early dominance, don't seem to be able to capitalize on it as well as they have done. Maybe mousesports have figured out their game plan. Maybe they figured out just what they need to do to counter that sort of late play. Don't waste your utility early. Place it where you need it, and don't push when you don't need to. Don't give anything. Don't give ground to Big.
Anything they should do, or is it all don'ts?
Win.
Win.
That's what they should do. There we go.
I like that. Motivating. I'm going to get that tattooed.
What? Win.
Win. John Allen observes.
John, who's that? I don't know who you're talking about. I have no idea.
Big not favoured in this round for a change. So their money's suddenly come back to haunt them. Legia left down on a deagle. But again, these AKs are still lethal. We've still got the power of Nex and Tabson to open things up, as they are known for, as Tabson takes control in the drop down. mousesports aren't going to be contesting it, but they will hear the footsteps, so they know he's in there. And that smoke will definitely give it away as well, as he tries to take control. Big Just taking their time here, nothing fast, and again, this is what we know. They've already been playing so slowly this entire map, and while it has been working out in the first few rounds, it seems like mousesports have caught onto it. We can't allow that affect big to allow Mouse to pick up the last two of the half, because that would be pretty detrimental considering the good start that these teams had.
Back to basics now. Stuko going to be crucial here in a position to do a load of damage. If he plays his cards right, Rops finds one, Chris J finds the other. Stuko gets taken down and it's Chris J to do all the damage as he finds a third on the flick. Now it's just Legia and he is going to be shut out by Sunny, and mousesports come in storming into the 15th round. Now they have their chance to put themselves in a favourable scoreline.
Yeah, very impressive considering the start from big. I didn't think mousesports would be able to pull this back, but resilience and them clearly on their side. This big shamble together their money for the final buy. It's a charity shot buy. 2 UMPs, a Deagle and a couple of AKs in tow as mousesports still rock the double AWP in full utility. No excuses here. There's big setup fast towards middle. They don't take control.
We've seen that aggressive play from Oscar come out a couple of times so far. If Big were to clock onto that and get that pick early on, they would completely open up that A-bomb site and really be able to take their stance towards it. But too late, unfortunately. 15th round.
It's not even that as well. Getting the pick onto Oscar is far easier said than done when he's got an AWP in his hand. That man is very, very good at that gun.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be tricky to face off against the AWP. You do have Keeve, who's a very capable AWPer himself, landing the shots when he needs to, but when you come up against a talent like mousesports, they nothing to be sniffed at, certainly. Oscar not able to make it work for him just there, though, as they are going to let the aggression come out from Big or towards the A site.
Yeah, fast up, and we've got 3 players actually pushed into the site as well. So Rops is going to be able to line up 2 kills next to Trade, and the AWP from Oscar rotating from long, able to do the damage. He's traded. He found a 1-for-1. No man advantage. This is perfect for Big. Sorry, for mousesports. As Big I just left it absent and his devices, but he's getting flanked, and Sunny will finish off the job. mousesports 6 rounds and a half. They bring it back from a deficit that Big once started. We're going to see if they can continue the reverse sweep and pick up this map just after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second half of the first map of this series. It's Big on the CT side, and we are kicking things straight off. mousesports fast into middle, 4 armors, and 1 set of utility on Chris J.
Are they going to take a leaf out of Big's book and go for the slow aggression? But Probably not, by the looks of it. They have taken up that forward stance that we did actually see a lot from Big, so it might just be that that's how both teams want to play this map. They want to play late into the round. They want to go for those full takes. Rops in a crucial position here. Goes for the face, but Cbble only shows a shoe, and that's going to be enough as Rops finds himself with a bullet between the eyes. Now pushing on towards the A site. Kiev able to shut it down very, very quickly. They are going to push, try and take those close angles, but Nex is going to see to it that that's not going to happen. Finds two of his own. Oscar trades it back, but there's Legia ready and waiting. 10-6 now. Big take the first round here on the CT side.
What a round as well. It seemed like the perfect setup for Mouse. They had Rops holding the rotation off B, and Big pushing up aggressively should always just get caught out by Rops in that situation. But Cbble, the next level IGL for Big, aware, got to be checking, got to be always watching his corners, and he gets them down. So yeah, great round for Big to pick up, and that's going to lead them heavy into the second half. We will be seeing a tactical pause from mousesports straight after that pistol, so clearly got something up their sleeve coming into this second round. Surely
you should know what you need to do after you lose a pistol round. I mean, that's just a standard setup.
Yeah, it's not always that. Maybe they want to throw something different in. Maybe they just want a break to kind of relax after that pistol. Maybe it upset them. It could be one of many things. It's not always not knowing what you're doing. Sometimes it's just, let's take a 30-second or 60-second break and just chill. Just take a second to calm down. Because again, they had a good setup for the pistol round, and they completely got lost and locked out the site. Not anyone from mousesports hit their shots. Sorry, whiffing that sentence as much as the bullets were whiffed, but. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Now we'll see the buy-up. So lots of UMPs in play from Big, as they did on the T side as well. One FAMAS, so not even the M4. As mousesports set up with pistols, this is the round for them to win. If they can take this away, if they can knock down these UMPs, it will give them a hell of an economy boost early on into this half.
If they're playing with those UMPs, they're going to be playing relatively close, and that's where these pistols shine. They do have two Deagles on board as well, playing for that mid and long range trades. The CZs, obviously up close, is where they shine. Oscar with that P250, probably with the smoke and the flash as well, so they are potentially looking for just an execute off the back of those two pieces of utility, with him bringing up the rear with that P250, potentially picking up a dropped weapon from a fallen comrade or even from a fallen enemy. If they're able to take a couple of UMPs out of the hands of Big, it will limit their buys into the further few rounds and give mousesports a nice little foothold in order to launch themselves into the rest of this second half.
But a very slow round here as they set up towards B with one set of utility on Oscar, so he's going to be crucial in staying alive so he can actually throw that out. Kiev just spotting on long. Unlikely he'll commit to too much of a fight here, especially not up against Deagles that we do see possessing on the side of mousesports. Deep nade might do some damage. It does. Sunny's tagged. mousesports waiting for that smoke to dissipate. They're not going to have a lot of time. They might even have to just push through it as it starts to fade away, but instead they fall into drop down. Tabs him on the other side. Here's the footsteps, and he's got support from the player and connector. That's got B. So Big have actually got a complete lockdown on this drop, as Kiev digged up on Plateau is going to have to take a fight because they can just rush him down, and they do. Tabson, one more kill with a trade, and this is what we talked about. mousesports are doing the damage.
Plant is going to come through now, so they have got all that they wanted in this round, but now it's just Legia. They have more in their grasp. Taken down to 4 HP now. The UMP versus UMP, armor versus armor, and the helmet as well. There's a defuse kit on board, but it's not going to matter. If you're dead, you can't defuse the bomb, and that is going to be mousesports taking a nice round. Second of the half, and they put 7 total on the board.
Yeah, and that's what I was worried about going into that one, because we see full UMPs for Big with one FAMAS, and all you think is pistols are so lethal. It's such a risk to play. You don't see many teams play with so many SMGs, especially not after the UMP got nerfed. I feel like before that would make a bit more sense, but now the UMP's dropped off massively in the past couple of months. People looked at that, that update, I think it was like 25% range damage drop or something like that, and everyone kind of went, it won't make that much difference. UMP's still going to be overpowered, and now it really isn't. Now I'd say the UMP is about where it should be. We've seen a lot of pros kind of going to other pistols, going to the MP7, even the MP9 in some cases. So yeah, I feel like going for these kind of buy rounds are risky, and obviously Big pay the price, and we're going to have a technical pause this time on mousesports, so a quick second for them to fix whatever issues we've got going on, and then we'll be back in. But yeah, a good round for mousesports. They're back in the game, clearly. Yeah,
just carrying on from that sort of change in in the meta in terms of what you buy, you've got those pistol changes coming through as well, which that aim punch change really means that those ecos are far more deadly.
Yeah.
You can play those close angles, you won't get as much aim punch, and you really can have such a massive effect, especially on the economy of the opposing team, and that is really where it's going to start to shine. And what we've seen time and time again from both of these games so far, that these pistols are very, very strong. The UMPs, not as strong as they were, so they can't shut them down. The pistols stronger, so they're going to be able to do a little bit more than perhaps they were able to before.
Yeah, so for those wondering what's going on right now, at least we've got a bit of a technical issue on the server. ESCA is just going to be kicking that one back up. I think we're just refreshing it, so it should be back in a minute or two. No more issues. But again, thank you for sticking by us despite these slight delays. Either way, this could be an interesting second half. Again, if we look back to the first one, we saw Big with a very commanding lead. They were 9-1 up, I think, at one point in there. It ended 9-6. mousesports brought it back. Going into the second half, at least, I was worried that this could just be, again, Big taking that early advantage, getting that pistol around and kind of running away with this. But now with mousesports picking up the force buy, we could really see a close game on our hands. We could see this going back and forth. And I feel like on Cobblestone, a map where you can't get, pistol rounds as easily as you can on other maps like Cache and Mirage, for example, it's very important to maintain your economy. So mousesports getting this second round and actually winning with the pistols is really good, because forcing Big to eco means I'm expecting them to pull it back to 10-10 very shortly.
Yeah, and if they're able to limit, obviously, moving forward, to take as many guns out their hands as possible, that's really, I mean, it's what wins you rounds, it's what wins you games, is keeping track of those economies and keeping track of what sort of damage you, first of all, need to do, and second of all, have done. If you know exactly what's going on in that, if you have that model in your mind, which these players should do, these teams, being some of the best around, should be able to do just that. They should be keeping track exactly of the economies of the opposing players, each player individually. They should know exactly what's going on with their buys, what they're able to do, outthink them, and you will be able to outplay them in the end.
Indeed. And let's take a little bit of time to talk about ESCA and Mountain Dew League. Obviously, for those who are unaware, Big are the team that came from last season of Mountain Dew League and worked their way up into ESL Pro League for this season. And they are performing very well as well. So it's nice to see that the teams can come from this kind of lower tier league online and make their way up towards the Pro League and play with the top tier teams. And Big have definitely proved themselves that they deserve this slot. Not only their run at the major in Krakow, but also their performance here in Pro League so far, near the top of the board, definitely shows there's a lot of talent. And obviously a lot of big teams falling down. We're actually going to have this season of ESCA Mountain Dew League, season 26, has started off very recently over on twitch.tv/ESCA. And we've actually got Virtus Pro playing in this season, I think, if I'm correct. So falling down from EPL after getting relegated this year. And they're playing with other teams like Gambit, for example, again major winners of this year, to try and qualify not only for the MDL finals but also to try and get back in this season or next season of EPL. So yeah, head over to play.esca.net to play with the pros. Head over to the ESCA Mountain Dew League website and keep yourself up to date with the standings as well as EPL, because it's two very big leagues, two very important leagues, and it shows clearly with the way that Big's been doing as of late. They definitely deserve their slot in Pro League off the back of MDL, and hopefully they're going to have a good season. I'd love to see them at the finals in Odense.
It'd be really, really cool to see that come through, but in order to do that, they do need to keep up the performances that we've been seeing today certainly in the early part of the first half. Not so much the second part, but we'll leave that to slide. They still had that really respectable scoreline, 9-6 at the half, and obviously picking up that pistol. Unfortunately, didn't win the second round, but they really, really do deserve to be up there, as you said. And it just goes to show that, teams across all regions, they're all starting to sort of be able to bring the thunder, really, and those sort of mid-tier to sort of almost bordering on the professional teams, they're really starting to come through and push up and really provide that sort of standard that you really need in order to have a viable scene just throughout.
Yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit about your predictions, at least for this matchup. Of course, we're one half in, but I feel like I didn't really even ask you, officially, what were your predictions for this game? And while maybe you're going to be a little more biased, I'd say with mousesports actually picking up that force right before we went for the pause means that we now have a bigger question under our hands where this first map is going in the second half specifically. So what's your prediction, at least officially, so we have it down?
At the start, I would have said Big. I would have said Big all the way. They would have you know, I just thought they were going to be able to run through it.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't surprised to see that 9-1 scoreline. mousesports, they've definitely picked it up and taken it up a notch. And they have risen to the challenge and just come through and done very, very well now. Seems like they've warmed up into the game. Seems like they've warmed up into the map. They're ready. They're peaking their angles nicely. They're going for those good rotates and they're going for that good positioning. So I think if mousesports are able to keep it up, they're definitely going to be certainly poised to take this map. But I mean, you know, it could go either way. Is what
you're
I'm saying.
more on the fence than me here.
I'm so
Give me
on
a
the
prediction.
fence.
Give me
I'm so on
something
the fence.
solid.
Okay,
Give me something solid.
Big are going to win.
Big are going to win.
Big are gonna
2-0, 1-1,
It's
or
gonna
are we
be-
just talking about Cobble?
I'm just talking about Cobble for now.
Okay,
I think
I'll come back to you.
it's a little bit early to go for the next map prediction.
I'll come back to you on that prediction for the second map, and I'll come back to you too with the rest of this map after a short break. We're going to be fixing the technical problems, and we'll be back with the rest of Cobblestone. Do not go anywhere. You do not want to miss it.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back into the game. The scoreline may not be correct, but I imagine we're going to have to be the maths men for this match. 10-7.
No, hang on. Okay,
let's get out some notepads. Ooh, I've done this before, right? Big 10. mousesports 7. Deceiving scoreline, and mousesports up on the bye here. Big, not with a lot to work with.
Okay, so Mouse are going to be starting to play up towards the top of plateau, but they're not going to be able to find the damage. It's got B able to get the best of Rops. Oscar able to trade it back, and Chris J chimes in with one of his own. Styko finds 2 with the UMP spray, and Kiev now left last man standing as the P250. 3 UMPs, really not what you want to come up against, and for the first time, the pre-1 minute timer bomb is going to get planted. They have gone for an early play in this cobblestone matchup.
Oh, I've never seen this before. Incredible. And we've got confirmation the scorelines will be fixed next round, so that's good. I have cast the games where they've reset them. They've just been like, yeah, sorry, you got to count.
But I've drawn a table and everything.
you have as well. You're a little artist.
Artiste,
actually. Yeah, that's a French version of artist, if you weren't aware.
Just like the castle.
Yeah, big on architecture, big on tables, drawing, writing. He's just he's a man of everything.
I'm a polymath.
Even observing. But 8 rounds for mousesports. We did say before we were going for the break that this is how they claw themselves back into the game. They win this, they win one more bye, and then suddenly we're at 10 rounds. And that's where mousesports, they're back in the game, because again at one point we were thinking, God, is this going to be a stomp? Are Big just going to completely tear them apart? It was 9-1 up to this big team, and now all things are starting to fall back into the lines of question. Again, we've got lots of utility for Big, a couple of pistols in play, and that could be a bit of a challenge if mousesports aren't expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, well, one thing we can say for certain, it's not going to be a 16-2 scoreline. It's very, very even up to this point, and that nade is going to mean that Rops takes an early fall. Godby has taken quite a chunk of damage, though. 38 HP left on him. And that nade's just going to see it out. 2 nade kills so far in this round. We're going to see any more? Doubt it. We only got 1 nade left. And we don't have any more Kyiv, as they are pushing straight onto this A-bomb site. Styko starting to push up. Is going to be primary face here, as he is just going to turn the corner and actually gets taken down with the headshot. Oscar quickly trades that one back, though, and Sunny waiting on the back. The bomb gets planted, has that AK in his hand, aims it perfectly at Nex's skull, and that is going to be mousesports taking another round, 9-10 in favor of Big.
But now the buy is coming through here, and Big are taking a short pause. This is probably, or I imagine this is Big taking a short pause, probably just off the back of, oh, okay, it's technical again on mousesports. Come on, guys, you had 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Oh, okay, coach just dropped, so
okay.
Yeah, not their fault.
Yeah,
we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting.
Well, it still is their fault.
I don't think it's his fault. What if his computer just crashed? That's not his fault.
Get a better computer.
It might not be his fault. It might just be the power grid.
Get a better power grid. Move to a country where
Move to a country where there's a better power grid.
Get a gaming house where there's brilliant.
John hates Germany. You heard it here first, ladies and
buy
gentlemen.
an uninterrupted power supply. Like, you know, there are ways. No, of course, it's he's not to blame. There,
oh wait, sorry, no. Mousesports coach dropped down. I just said you hate Germany. No, you hate Ukraine. Sorry, it's LMBT, the coach from Mousesports.
I was going to say something that I definitely shouldn't have said. So that's good that I didn't say it.
Let's just move on. I didn't even know. Well, he's back in, so we're okay. We're going to be going live again. Big on the buy here. Full weaponry, AWP up into the hands of Kyiv. And Mousesports still playing somewhat bonusy. They've got a couple of UMPs back in their hands, so they're not going to be upgrading them, despite having a lot of cash to do so. So taking a big risk here, and this is a risk that maybe at such a close scoreline you shouldn't take. Let's see how they use them, though. They've got to play around these UMPs, knowing they can't just, go for this A-long aggression, for example, where these guns are really not going to be too useful once you get out onto the A site. Focus them towards drop down. If you want to go for that split, maybe you could put the 2 UMPs in drop, send the other rifles up through middle. Go for something like that. Let's just see.
Those UMPs are going to be so much more effective now, given that there's 3 players on the CT side without those helmets. So those headshots are going to do ridiculous amounts of damage if they're able to land them accurately. So in a sense, that gives them almost a slight advantage here coming in for mousesports. They haven't invested the same amount of economy. Kyiv could be the first to spot it out. And Oscar gets taken down almost immediately as soon as he turns. Did see the other player crossing as well.
Yeah, he doesn't fall for the bait. Stiko just jumps across, and Kyiv still knows he's going to get a repeat with the orb. That's so clever. Not allowing mousesports to catch him off guard there with their fancy little tricks as Kyiv takes it to the favour of this CT side, and that's exactly what they need after a bit of a shambles in mousesports picking up the second round of the half. But now aggression in middle. 2 players pushed down close, and with this setup towards A, we've got 3 players here for Big. Mousesports about to walk into a death trap.
Just a matter of time at this point. 40 seconds left on the clock once again. Not too late into the round, but the execute does come through. Players getting flashed out as they turn the corner. Nex gets the free frag. Kyiv finds one as well as they start to push up. Rops is going to be able to get the best of Nex there. And now it's 3 versus 2 on the hold. They still haven't got onto that site. Only 20 seconds left on the clock. Kyiv spots a player but isn't able to capitalize. Godby, though, certainly is. Now, 1 player, Rops, has not got the bomb. Dropped down on site, pretty short. He's just going to be wanting to back off of this one. The save coming through, no time left on board either, and that is going to be a round going over to Big. And I believe that's the second round this half, because it went Big, Mouse, 3 in a row, and now Big have taken their second this half, right? Is that how it went?
Correct.
Big
yes.
won the pistol round, Mouse refragged it.
Yeah, refragged it.
Then we had the pause.
Yeah.
Then 2 rounds, and then Big won it again.
Yeah, I've forgotten everything at this point.
I'll draw another table.
Please don't. I'm sure you're correct. I'm sure you're correct. 11-9 though in favour of Big. As Mouse back in with the buy here on this T side, the lead somewhat extended by the Germans, but we'll see how long that stands as mousesports set up bomb outside of B, 2 players there, and 3 outside of the A site to kick things off. Kyiv is just going aggressive over on long on B. Not going to be able to spot anything out with the AWP, and mousesports, this looks like just your typical split, but the only thing I'm questioning right now is Usually this would look like a split towards a drop down, 2 players from mousesports, and then send 3 up through middle. The reason I'm quite confused is the bomb is still inside of the B halls, and it's very uncommon for a team to set up for a drop down split and take the bomb with them, because it's so easy to get it lost in the connector and under CT control. So yeah, they don't commit to it, and that makes a lot of sense. They pull the bomb back towards the A side of things, faking out some drop control potentially, trying to make big second guess themselves. And now they're going to be walking up towards the A site. Still Rops waits in the hallways, but he's just holding for that rotation. As now we're going to see Big start to work out what mousesports are throwing in. Utility going in for the CT side, but as soon as that's over, mousesports are going to commit.
We haven't seen the boost up from Next so far, so he could come in really, really big if they don't expect it. They do start to push him, but that smoke is just going to slow them down that little bit, but a nice push through the smoke, finds them a kill, trade it back instantly, but Next up top there is going to be able to find one of his own. Taken down though, Oscar turns the corner, gets the frag. Tabson though isn't quite done as he finds a second as well to follow. Now it's just Oscar, has the AWP, has that killer instinct, but does he have enough to win out the round? Big once again have control of the bomb, and it looks like they're just going to do the same. They're going to fall back. They're going to play safe. Keep that AWP going over into the next round. Put Big at that 12-9 advantage.
Yeah, and since that UMP buy for mousesports, since that bonus round that they've played, it started to fall apart, but bit by bit, round by round, and now they've got to eco this one. So Oscar getting no loss bonus, out of which mousesports have started to build up, and no one else having enough money to buy up either. So it's not going to be a buy from these T's, and even calling in a pause. I hope this one's a tactical, not a technical, hopefully. And I imagine it will, because this makes a lot of sense coming into this round for mousesports. They've not got money, they want to take a second. Yeah, tactical pause. Good stuff, guys. They learn which one's which now.
Maybe they just, yeah. I mean, TAC and Tech have only one letter difference between them. I mean, it's easy to just mishit that, right?
Once I was casting a game, and one team took a pause. It was online, and the admin wrote in chat, in console, TAC or Tech, and one of the guys who called the pause replied, TC. And I was like, wait, which
yeah.
Is that TAC or is that Tech? Because it could be TAC, it could also be TEC.
I mean, A and E are relatively close on the keyboard.
I assumed it was TAC because it was like 3 letters, TEC, and whereas Tech you probably put the full word instead of TEC.
I'd say TEC.
Really?
TAC or Tech? That's the question.
Tech is TCH.
No, because you just put T.
I don't know. Well, I never knew. I never knew if it was a Tech or Tech, so I had no idea.
Can we get a poll? Is the question.
At least,
is it TECH or is it
At
TEC?
least on Pro League we get told. Yeah, boy. Back into the game. 9-12. No utility here for mousesports, but they've got rifles to play with as they fast push in towards middle. Keep going to spot it. He waits for that bait, but it doesn't come through. He should have taken the shot, and he'll pay his price.
It's taken down relatively early on, and fast aggression coming through Big. They don't like to play before the 130 mark. They like to play later on, and it's really not going well for them so far. Mouse capitalizing beautifully. Tabson first trade back, but Chris J shuts that A site down, and they are just going to fall back, holding that connector position, and they are not going to go for this retake here. They do want to just keep those rifles on board. Once again, it's tit for tat, these games, just going back and forth, these rounds, sorry, going back and forth, 12-9, moving in to that 12-10, both teams on double digits.
And a nice switch up of pace from mousesports. They tried this slow start for a couple of rounds. It hadn't really worked out. Big were just zoning them out in the last few seconds, and now they switch it up, go for that fast play. Obviously, Kyiv not going for that shot down middle, expecting what we saw a couple of rounds ago, where we saw that bait from Stiko and then the repeat with the AWP, but it doesn't come through. Instead, mousesports are going to find their 10th, as you say. So starting to have some effect on this T side post pistol round. But again, they need to keep this one going. They can't allow Big to crack down again, get that reset. It's possible we're going to see a buy here with 2 guns saved, but it won't be a great buy by any means. They can throw over 2 AKs, buy up a couple of M4s around it. So we'll have 4 rifles in play, which isn't all bad. So I'd actually like to see that. I'd like to see the full commitment. Although, it seems like we're going for CZ and armor.
Interesting. Well, I mean, playing up those close angles, especially on a map like Cobblestone, they can play close on a position like drop. They can play, under broken wall. They probably won't be looking to play on Chicken Coop, but Godb with a quick boost up here has the AK as well. 2 players could go for the face. 1 goes down. They know where the bomb is as well, and that is a brilliant bit of information. They're going to rotate, and he's not done yet. Finds a second, turns it around, nearly gets the 3rd, but just gets pipped out. Chris J grabs the bomb, falls back, but they've already done the damage.
And a massive mistake from Chris J there, who actually flashed Stiko, completely blinded him when we saw that peek in from Godb. So Godb got 2 kills just off the back of a team flash.
We saw another pick as well with Tabson able to get the kill. I think it was onto Rops. I'm not quite sure, but they are just going to continue to try and push onto this B-bomb site. Big have a very good start to this round so far. Aggression paying off beautifully. tabseN jumps up, spots out a player, but's not able to land the shot. Finds it again, but is still not quite able to close it. And there we go, finds it. Finally able to turn it on, and Big put 13 up on the board. And that is going to be devastating because mousesports now, this is the last round where they can really buy. And if they lose this, they are in a whole heap of trouble.
That was so good though from Big to at least allow the 2 rifles they'd actually saved to make the plays. Obviously the other players don't have any weapons, any utility, any armor, so it's all down to Cbble and tabseN to actually make this one work. And it's nice to see Big to just play around those 2 guns. Know that these are the guys that have got to get the job done. They do. So Big, now coming off the back of a loss, going to be picking up an eco win, or at least a double rifle, triple pistol win. mousesports can't be too happy about that. Oscar up on the AWP, pistols on 2, and then the AKs as well on the rest. So mousesports slow this one down. I feel like, again, these fast plays seem to be working out for them a little more effectively, at least out towards A site. We saw that a couple of rounds ago. They went fast in towards middle, they cut off Kiev, and then the round was completely theirs, as Big didn't even have time to rotate their players into the site. So maybe that's what we need to see from mousesports. If they keep going slow, this could catch them off guard. Again, we've got the AWP holding the angle over on long. We've got control towards middle. Kiev spots across, and there's a Molotov. He just falls back.
Nice disciplined fallback from Kiev. Able to just keep that AWP in his hands. They do not want to give that away, especially in such an aggressive position. That's going to mean that they do just fall back. And mousesports still trying to just gain ground wherever they can, gain information, gain a utility advantage even, but it looks like they have used it all pretty much already. Only a couple of things left, and Sunny's not going to make that matter too much. And they are traded even across the map. Now 3 versus 3, Cbble looking to see what he can see. Just catches the edge, but it's not quite enough. Sunny does manage to sneak on by. Now they are on towards this A-bomb site. The bomb now looking to get planted. CT's fully on the rotate. Oscar holding on the site with that AWP, and Cbble just holding in the building. And
with all 3 of them pushing in from the connector as well, or at least from the B rotation, no one coming in from the flank, this means Sunny's position is even more deadly, because now they're going to have to clear that out as well. They're going to have to push down middle to take him out. Good pop flash to let them in, and next finds a kill, but Oscar, he defends from the back of the site, repositioning round, but goes down to tabseN. This is where Sunny's position comes up big. 1 kill. He can defend the bomb from here as well, as Next needs to push up aggressively, but Sunny hears the footsteps, falls back, but he peeks too late, and Next will take him down, but there's no time for the defuse. Massive round for mousesports to pick up, despite the slow start. And they will get themselves 11 on this T side, keeping it going. Big save the AWP, but it's not enough to pick up the round.
That was very important for mousesports. Remember, they would have been absolutely down in the dumps if that round had gone a little bit faster on the retake for Big. They would have very much been left destitute there. They would have had no money whatsoever. Obviously, coming off that 1 win, 1 loss round, they would have just been able to well, not being able to buy pretty much anything. And remember, that 14-10 scoreline would have pretty much sealed the deal for Big here.
Yeah, but how back and forth these rounds have been going. It's 4 rounds in a row we've won by different victors. That's why the money's so screwed on really both sides here, because Big have nothing to fall back on. The mousesports don't even have enough to fully buy. Despite winning that previous one, Big have a better buy into this. You know, it's crazy. It's just how the economy works. tabseN up on long, going to get spotted by Rop, so lack of weaponry doesn't even matter for the Estonian as he opens things up onto tabseN. We're going to have continued pushing out onto B. Kiev looking to defend, but he gets shot in through the edge of the smoke. Stiko, massive 2k, now pulls things back in favour of mousesports, and already Bigger looking to save. It's just Legia left. A 1v4, he's on the wrong side of the map.
Look at the money, though. That is absolutely devastating.
I mean, that's what we said. Look at the scoreboard. 4 rounds in a row, different victors each time. No one has a chance to build up economy.
Well, now mousesports are going to be able to put 2 in a row finally up on the board. And Big are really, really going to struggle here. They're just going to have to full eco on the next round. mousesports have the chance to even up the scoreline, and it really is still anyone's game. I mean, I predicted Big to win. They're still in the lead, but mousesports nipping at their heels.
Yeah, far closer game than we really expected, especially after the dominant 9-1 start that Big actually had on that T side. Nice safe spot. Means they don't have to exit the site. Legia won't find exits, and while Sunny chases with an Act 10 towards T spawn, he doesn't find anything, so just scoreline getting close, and it may get closer as mousesports are destined to pick up this next round. A tactical pause for Big, as they want this game to go the full 3 hours on map 1.
It seems that way.
It's certainly getting close, I can tell you that now.
Yeah, they're really up for it. They're ready to push that to, well, they don't want to go to overtime, but mousesports and Big so evenly matched here on Cobblestone that it seems like it's very much on the cards. We've had a couple of double overtimes so far in the EPL, and potentially looking at one more.
Yeah, but obviously it's important that you don't pick up a win in EPL. It's important in overtime. It's important to actually get the win in regulation time, because you actually get less points on the scoreboard, on the standings for EPL if you win in OT.
That doesn't matter too much more. That matters more for mousesports, I think, than Big, because obviously.
Yeah, but of course you want to get as many points as you can, right?
Always.
So yeah, it's important that Big try and close this out, or mousesports try and close this out before we hit OT, because then you get more points, then your standings are better. But let's see what this round has up its sleeve. Kiev caught out by the Mac 10 of Sunny, and mousesports already off to a good start, but again, not much on the side of Big.
Yeah, so they still have that rifle in hand. Going to be anchoring towards that A site, and they are banking on that aggression and on the retake potentially if they do move towards B, which it seems like they're going to be setting up for. Standard B takes. They have the utility advantage right off the bat. They have the weapon advantage right off the bat. There's pretty much nothing standing in the way other than some finicky plays coming out from Big. If they are able to pull it off, it would be certainly a sight to behold. Legia has got that armor as well, so he really is the powerhouse that they're banking on here.
Oh, mousesports have taken too long to set up, though. I was about to commend them on switching up to B after finding that pick, but them taking too long has allowed Big to pre-rotate all 4 players into the site, and while, again, this should still be a mousesports round, it could make it close in terms of money. Legia here with the M4, boosted up onto the tree. He's got 2 angles to watch as they come in from both sides. Now mousesports, 30 seconds left. If Legia can deny them, if he can get 1 or 2 kills and just stop this push from coming through, he could potentially completely deny this round. Look at the kills already coming out. Tabs and Nade got B with the USP, and while there are only 2 players left, the time is still thin for mousesports. They're running out of it. Stiko needs to go down here in order for Big to win, but Tabson will miss a shot. God B gets caught in the rotation. A very weird round, because I like it originally from mousesports. They set up towards A, they get that first kill, and Big, knowing, mousesports knowing that Big are on an eco, it's very likely to see stack. We actually saw these CTs stack up over on A after that pick onto Kiev up through long. So, mousesports have a good setup. They switch up towards B, Big is stacked on the wrong side of the map, and then suddenly they just take too long and allow those rotations. But they still close it out, so it's okay. The pistols don't cause too much damage, as now we're back into the buy.
3 rounds in a row, scorelines dead even, buys really very even themselves, within $2,000 of each other on both of these teams. And it's so close. Both of them just coming up absolutely huge. Legia just denying any aggression there through towards the sewers. As he is just going to drop down the smokes where he needs them. The push comes through. mousesports have taken control now, but Legia drop back on the flank. The full flash comes through, able to find one. Sunny turns it back around, and the incendiary, so the Molotov gets chucked up and forces Godby actually to rotate back towards that connector through the smoke, though, so he is fully in cover. Styko now pushing up, is going to start to incendiary grenade off that boot, balcony position, but it's just going to be quite enough, but he doesn't manage to get the trade. Kiev able to land the shot next, finds one as well. Chris J finally shutting down Kiev at the back of sight. Oscar finds 1, 2, but that's not going to be quite enough to stop Chris J from going down. Bomb is down on the A-bomb site. 2 players left alive for Big, and this is their chance to come back in. This is their chance to bring themselves to that 14-round scoreline that both teams so desperately want here. Oscar just sails wide with the AWP shot, pushing in, pushing around, drops down, and that's going to be next, putting it right through to mousesports. 14-13 now, scoreline's dead even. Another rifle round on the cards, and Big could take it home here.
Yeah, they're poised perfectly to do this one. But again, as we can see, mousesports back on the buy, so still under question. At least they have cash to play with, as they did wrap together a couple of rounds earlier. So an AWP up for Oscar, full rifles as well. Big, in fact, not even favoured into this one with their weaponry. Utilities looking good as well as kits. Kiev back on the AWP is a good sight, but he can't get a pick off as he's going to be Molotov off on the plateau. Has to move towards the stairs instead. mousesports not pushing off the back of that molly. They're aware that Kiev may have this AWP back in play. Legia sits in close towards middle, but he's alone on the A side. The fastest rotation has got B, who's just holding passive outside of the drop down. And I'm very surprised with the setup here, because Big have 4 players on B, but no one's even contesting drop. The closest player they have is Gob, who's basically playing the window of the connector, as you can see here, and he's not even committing to anything. So Big not wanting to put any pressure towards here at all. They want to allow mousesports full control, and while that could be risky, it just means they have more players at least ready to hold out onto a B plateau push.
They have got the bomb moving slightly towards B, but it is rotating back, and the boost coming out from Oscar, the jump peak coming through. It's not really going to come to any fruition, though. The run boost, whilst it looks fancy, only useful certain times. Now, they're just going to clear out that close angle with that Molotov, and they are looking to start to push through, but they're just rotating back and forth, and their time's ticking down ever closer to the end of the round. No damage going through, but as I say that, a long nade able to get a significant chunk of damage taken off 3 of the mousesports players. Flash through the smoke, tabs and forced back in towards Matrix, gets taken down, and Chris J finds both of those entry frags onto a beautiful take on the B site for mousesports.
Such a silly round for Big, though. They have 30 seconds left. They know that mousesports are in a position where they're forced to make a play, and they have no information on the whereabouts. You see Gob B and Tabs just sitting up on the plateau, kind of looking at each other like they want to swap positions, like they're communicating, and then mousesports just flash through, and suddenly they're completely blown away. They have no idea. But it's more, you know, it's 30 seconds left. You don't know where any of the mousesports players are. You have no information. You've got to smoke down on long. At least, you know, think that this could be a B push, because it's everything's pointing towards it. A very silly mistake for God B, and very uncharacteristic of him as well, for those two to at least just be sitting there doing whatever they were doing. And that's unfortunate. Oscar takes down Legia through the smoke. So a round for mousesports, as soon as we say Big are in a position to close it out, it just flips itself on its head. They get reset, and with only 2 guns being saved as well, they're not going to be able to buy properly for this 29th round.
No, 14-14. Well, whoever wins this round gets the map point, and it's very likely wins the game as well. It's really looking in the favour of mousesports right now.
The reason being, no one's built up loss bonus after that reset. Both teams now 0 loss bonus at all. So whoever wins this forces the other team into either Big $1,900 on the loss bonus, or mousesports $1,400. So they'll have absolutely nothing to play with. Mousesports have a bit of money saved up, but nothing massive.
They're really putting all their eggs into this round's basket. Oscar looking for that first peak. Neither team wants to give an inch. And if you do give an inch, certainly going to be looking like you're giving a mile. Especially at this late stage of the game. Both teams playing so carefully. You can see they're not even moving barely on the minimap. It's just a stalemate almost for this early start to the round. Once more, mousesports not pushing forwards, not giving any information away. This is the first grenade that's going to be thrown, I think. A couple of smokes maybe, I think maybe for Big, but nothing as of yet. But mousesports are going to start to push the bomb towards that B site, set up for that drop position. And they're playing so passive behind A. They're waiting for Big to try and make a fancy play, but it's just not coming through.
So here we go, 2-man drop-down split with an A play coming up through middle. These 2 players are going to be so crucial for mousesports to allow this split up into the A bomb site. Legia playing close, but Godby's already shut down the first of the drop players. And with that, mousesports are just going to give up on A. They actually back all of their men off of this side of the map. And in the meantime, look at Legia's position. He's pushed up, so he can just call. All these mousesports players are falling back, and therefore we have Big just fully rotating towards B, knowing exactly what mousesports are about to throw in. This setup is perfect for Big. They might be able to close it out next, and got B opening things up. It's going to be next to follow, and look at the aggression. Just shuts down everyone. Such good information gained from Legia there in middle. So much impact. And look at how that's affected the money now for mousesports. A variance from 1,500 to 7,000. And they're on the edge of defeat here at 15-14.
But it's still all to play for. They have that AWP in the hands of Oscar. They have 2 AKs. They have that CZ that Sunny can play those close angles for. He can be that bait on drop. He can drop down first, go for that aggressive shot. And if it fails, so be it. You've got Rops, you've got Chris J behind you to try and get that refrag. They just need to try and make it happen, and Rops able to open it out, and now Big on the back foot. Kiev trades it back, evening it back out, and it's still very much in the balance here as to whether we're going to go to overtime. Big want to close it out right here. mousesports hoping for the win. Looking to go for the boost. Got B. Just chucking his teammate on top towards tree there. 1
minute left. mousesports taking their time on this. They've already lost the first man, but they did trade it back at least, so still in favour of the T's in terms of manpower, but not quite weaponry as Sunny's down on this CZ. Up towards drop won't have too much effect, just going to force Robs back. Actually, I say that he gets tagged down a hell of a lot, down to 35. So Molotov having a hell of a lot of effect, and a nade as well, just to add insult to injury, rubbing salt in the wound. He goes down another 10 points of health. mousesports now have to congregate up towards one side of the map, and A will be their choice. With two defenders here, Big don't want to throw anything special, they don't want to get aggressive or get information. They're just going to go for the 2-2 setup and hope their men can step up on the bomb site. We've got Legia and Kiev on this side of the map. Not quite the dynamic duo, but they're going to have to step up, and more Molotov damage. Big are doing very well with this utility, but they still have no information. The mousesports are pushed up mid.
Chipping away ever so slowly, 20 seconds now. They have to commit fully. Pushing on towards the A-bomb site. It's going to be Rops on the charge. He is going to nade the back of site, pushing in the bomb. It's going to get started to be planted. Kiev gets taken down, and Sunny finds one as well onto Legia, and that's Chris J as well. mousesports all of a sudden with a 4-man versus 1. It's all go B or go home. Find the kill onto Styko, and now he starts his push. Has not got a kit. Picks up a separate AK. 11 bullets left in the chamber for that one. So, sorry, in the magazine, not in the chamber. They're different things. He is going to continue his push on towards the A-bomb site. Pushes around the side of the SWAT van. They know where he is. Chris J flicks it around, and mousesports take us to overtime. Tooth and nail, they claw it back, and Big and mousesports are evenly matched here on Cobblestone.
It's just a great example of how this entire game has been going. It started off dominant for Big, it plateaued out at a 9-6 scoreline for the half, and then despite Big picking up the pistol round, putting them in a great position to actually close out the map, mousesports pick up the force, and then from then on, it's just back and forth, up and down, left and right. Neither team able to, maintain an economy into that second half, and as a result, we just see the mess that is this overtime. Great performance from both teams, but equal amount of mistakes. And obviously now going into OT, it means that the winner of this is going to get less points than they would if they actually put up a win in regulation. Still, a win is a win, and both these teams won it going into this first of 2 maps for tonight. Obviously, Train being the latter. Latter coming up later. Ooh, bit of a choke there, but. Yeah, I'd say this is a great match. I'd say this is definitely not what we expected. Who did you predict to win again in the break earlier? I don't even remember.
I can't remember either. Can't remember. I have no idea.
Oh,
no idea.
I have no idea either.
I do know who it was.
Oh, it's big.
It was
okay,
big.
It was big.
No, I did, and that wasn't just because production said it in my ear. I did actually remember that it was Big that I predicted. But they haven't won it just yet. They looked like they were set up to win it. I mean, that push onto A, by all accounts, shouldn't have worked. From mousesports. They really got lucky. Well, not lucky, they did very well.
That being said though, you say the push shouldn't work, but I mean it was essentially a 2v4 on the site. The way that Big were playing in that 4v4 was so passive. They were just playing back site. They had 2 players literally on default with a smoke in front of them by the cannon, so they could just play close range, which I don't really like considering you have an AWP. You can challenge, you can try and counter, especially when mousesports don't have the best weapons in their hands. They had a Galil, I think they had a not all AWPs, not all AKs, sorry. Hopefully not all AWPs. So yeah, I feel like Big could have played that a bit differently, and to switch up the style on the 30th round of the map when what they've been doing was actually working up until that point is a surprise. But hey, can't win them all, but one team will win later. We're going to be waiting for this overtime to start back up to see how this one's going to go. Can I ask you a prediction again? Are you going to stick with Big? Are you going to change up to mousesports? What are you feeling, or do you want a coin to toss?
I genuinely think it's as easy as predicting a coin toss here. 50-50. Both of these teams so even. Obviously, both of these halves going pretty much down to the wire. So we've got 7 rounds this half for Big. I think that's right. Does that make sense? Have I just missed? Whatever. I'm trying to look at my table.
But half, so yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, whatever.
Wait.
Maths was.
No, they got 16.
That's fine. Whatever. But we are in overtime number 1, round 1 of the first half of it, and it is going to be Mouse taking up that T mantle. Big on that CT side as they do start their early play on towards this B bomb site. Uncharacteristic for this game. And the push is coming through from the smoke, and Tabson makes it work for him as well. they are just going to get those early picks, and this is the sort of play that we weren't seeing that is coming up big for big.
But the issue is, mousesports attempted to back off of long after they got picked, but by that point they'd already pushed 2 players into the drop down, so they couldn't even back off of the site. And you saw those long players up on B back off and then went, oh wait, our drop players are deep, we need to go back and support them, we need to commit to this B site take. So they push back up and they just get mown down, because big in the meantime, they've established control on plateau, they've found that first kill, and yeah, from then on it's just steamrolls out in favor of the CT side. So unfortunate round for mousesports, but also that fallback, despite having drop control, is a bit weird. Either way, a nice round for big to pick up, 16 to 15, and the buy coming back on in.
We are in a 16k overtime, aren't we?
Well, it would appear to be that way, it seems. Is this, yeah, is this MR3 or MR5 if we could get confirmation? I've not actually, this is like my first time at Pro League, this season, so I'm not sure if anything's switched, but I can't remember the overtime rules that they changed.
I'm not sure, but it seems like we are currently operating on a 16k overtime.
Yeah, that is.
So we'll go with that for now, I guess. Which means that both teams are just going to be able to full buy without too much fear of not being able to buy next round. Just coming in and being able to just spend all that cash. Full buys across the board for both teams. 2 AKs being stolen away by Big, so they are going to have that one-tap potential on those 3 players. 1 on the AWP, 2 on the AK. And once more, A is the focus for mousesports.
Oh, Keeve close in middle. This is where he shines, sorry. 2 kills. Next supporting him as well from the top of middle, but it's going to be Sunny to actually respond onto Keeve. However, too little, too late. They've already lost 2 men before that happens. And look at the flank coming in as well. Tabson's going to be on the behind, looking to shut down Oscar, who has no idea what's going on. Hopping into his sight, and that'll be the kill. They don't save the AWP. Hello? No one saves the AWP?
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it's MR5, because we've not had that, it's I'm saying half-time here.
It's so. like these teams have remembered the first 40 seconds of the round actually exist.
No, you're silly. That's when you sit in the top of middle and wait and do nothing. That's how cobblestone works.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know. But yeah, Sunny is going to try and take that aggression on towards the long on A. Chris J finds his own aggression though, as God B does fall. Keeve holding that side position. A boost comes out and they are just going to try and see what they can find, but it's not going to be much as Keeve able to fall back nicely back onto the A-bomb site. The bomb once again just sat in mid doing nothing, and the first 40 seconds of this round come up a kill, but they are once more just holding passive.
But you said that they're going to start to move up towards long with the off the back of that pick. Big having pre-rotated 3 out of the 4 players to this side of the map though, and with the bomb's positioning, I'm not convinced. mousesports not either, as they start to reconsider. This probe from Keeve, if he peeks out through the door, could be great, but instead he shuts down Stiko. Pulls it back into a 4-on-4, an important kill to make, but that may give him deceiving information, thinking that mousesports may want to commit towards this side of the map. That's not the case. They've drawn players back towards B, and we're going to see a swap as Keeve moves back in towards that side to support Nex as well. 2 players here on defense, and actually, as I say, that Tabson comes in as well, so we have a trio on the site. The 3 best players of the team looking to step up. Keeve misses the opening shot, but Nex will hit it. However, he goes down only to the trade of Sunny, leaving Keeve to defend on the B site.
Holding strong with the AWP, the crosshairs trained, not quite finding the kill, and that's going to be the Molotov to finish him off. Robs finds 1, and now it's just Legia versus 3, and Oscar sees that is not going to be the case. And now mousesports have a round on the board as well. Big have that 2-1 advantage going into the side swap.
So it is MR3. I assumed it wasn't because it didn't pop up saying half-time, but it's because we're running on ESCA servers. That's why they run differently. So yeah, 2-1 on the half for Big. Favourable, obviously. But I do like a 16k. My perfect point is like midpoint between 10 and 16, because I feel like 16, if that becomes like meta and every tournament start using 16, then we're going to see a lot of people basing strats around auto snipers and silly buys and stuff that I don't like in too many AWPs. But I think if you have it like 12, 13k, I think that's perfect. Either way, 16k in my opinion is better than 10k, and the reason being is if Big picked up those 2 rounds and we were on 10k, we would have had a force buy for mousesports for the last round and a half. That round that mousesports just won, they wouldn't have been able to buy AKs in that round.
Yeah, and I'm also a big fan of that, because you've got things like you've got to think sort of as a per round allocation. On 16k, you're getting divided up, but so 5.3k per round, and even on that, you can just full buy anyway. Like, it doesn't matter what you do if you're not buying those auto snipers, like you said. you can just do that, and then you take into account the round bonuses, and all of a sudden you've just got the ability to spend all the money you want with no fear of repercussion. Every round's a rifle round, and there's no sort of momentum that you can gain.
I don't like the idea of ecos in overtime. I feel like you've played 30 rounds of economy game. Let's see who's the best with guns, especially when you have matches like this where it's been so many kind of force buys back and forth, you know, ecos winning and all this silly stuff. I want to see who's the best with guns given, you know, everything they have. So
Fair enough.
You know, each to their own, but 17 rounds for Big. They've taken the man advantage as well, looking to find 19 here. 2 out of 3 rounds going to be needed for their T side, and already off to a blinding start. Taps it fast into the connector again. We've seen him do this before in the first half. This time he only gets 1 kill, but it still leaves Big with not a huge job to get done. It leaves it into the hands of Stiko, and he takes it. 2, pistol out for a 3rd, and he's going to spray away so much damage. And while he'll go down to the Molotov, look at the health left of Big.
They are really being decimated right now. Oscar able to find another pick up onto Legia, and now it's just Godby. He has that AK. Hope and a dream. The AWP from Oscar does actually fall back. He does have the bomb, though, being carried on the T side. That drop could have given a little bit of sound, but the rotate is coming all the way around. 27... numbers are difficult. 25 seconds left on the clock. And it looks like he's just going to go back towards this B position. Oscar isn't watching the drop, so that is vulnerable for them. Still, 15 seconds is not a lot of time to play with, but God B could come up big, but there's Oscar turning at just the right time, and that is going to be mousesports once again bringing it even. This 17-17 scoreline, they need one more to be able to guarantee that they're going to at least a second overtime and potentially push themselves into the victory on this map.
Alternatively, they could find both 2 left of the CT side, and they could be closing out Cobblestone 19-17 before we head to train. But again, with the way that this game has been going back and forth, you know what wouldn't surprise me? Double overtime, and I'm expecting at this point Big with the full buy up towards A long. It's going to be Mouse with just 1 player on the A bomb site. This could be a risk as Oscar's alone. He's tasked with holding both mid and long, and the issue is with that is he's going to have to constantly rescope between positions, meaning they're going to hear that AWP click. If they're playing close, they'll know that he's going to be zooming in, and he just backs off to a more passive position. Still looking to try and get this pick off so he can drop back with the man advantage. Keeve, nice angle. He jumps on top of the barrels, and that's an off angle as well. Oscar not expecting that. Goes down, and Big take the man advantage.
Pushing in, they have got that edge over mousesports. They're just looking to find a way to exploit it. 1 minute left on the clock, so plenty of time to play with. Certainly seen them play with less and do much more than they have so far. 1 player down on the side of Mouse. They have opened up a little bit of vulnerability. They just need to figure out where that's going to be, who that's going to be on, and who's going to try and take advantage of that. Big now starting to run down the clock. 40 seconds now. This flash is going to push out. Sunny is going to be holding face. Rops as well.
No.
Him up. 1 kill goes through, and it's going to be Legia able to come out on top, but Rops goes unnoticed, and he is absolutely devastating to the push. 2 players go down, but that's not going to stop him from falling finally. Godby is going to be ready and waiting, and that's going to be the burn. Finding the kill onto Keeve. Now it's just Styko playing from the balcony. Bomb gets planted. 2 players playing for Big on this A bomb site. Turns, just misses the edge, and that's going to be Godby finding the headshot, and Big take the round back. And now that's going to be Big looking to edge it out on towards this first overtime.
Yeah, great performance as well in middle. Unfortunate for Sunny actually missing that spray down. Luckily Rops pulls it back, but it was simply not enough. Big on the edge of victory. mousesports again, the money for the double AWP as we're into the last round of this second half of overtime. Big changing the pace once again into B. They've not done this for a while. They're just going to be storming on up. Next is going to be on the other side. Utility used from the mousesports players to hold off this push.
He's just burnt himself.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It spreads though. Molotov spread very late. You'd be surprised at the amount of people that get caught off by that. But look at Stiko. He just pushes in through the smoke. They don't realise he's in the back lines. He's behind them. He's going to be the linchpin into this round, but Sunny's already defending from the site. mousesports want to force another overtime as Stiko eventually strikes and Rops finishes off the job. It's a complete mess on the B site. Big's fast play does get shut down, and we're going to see OT too.
18-18 scoreline, so we're going to see at least 20 rounds on the board for one of these teams, if not more. always the possibility that this game goes on all night and we don't get any sleep.
I mean, if you think about it, this is literally everything is happening to make this long. We've had all teams use pretty much every pause they have as in tactical. We've had like a good 15-minute technical break while the servers crashed, and now we've got double overtime. We're really earning our paycheck.
What's the time? What's the time? Do you know what the time is?
We'll find out.
Let's check what the time
It's
is.
10:03 UK. We were meant to start...
Should we swap to an hourly contract or?
Definitely considering it. Yeah, I mean, considering the last match was meant to start half an hour ago. Am I right in that? Wasn't it 9:30 UK time?
I can't remember if I'm honest, but it sounds about right.
Yeah, or maybe it's 10:30. I'm not sure. No, I think it's 9:30. I think this game's gone on. Yeah, this game's gone on an extra half an hour.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not too bad considering. And we've had some good CS as well, so that's fun. We're actually straight into the second overtime. These players want to get on going because again, we still do have Train to follow. This series is never ending here.
I was going to say, the thing with double overtimes is you lose it, and all of a sudden your morale just drops.
Yeah,
you look at moving into Train, and more often than not, I see teams come out. I mean, obviously, this is the first time doing Pro League, so it might be a little bit different. But you see teams just go on tilt, like they've played their heart out in this game.
Wait. Let me cut you off there. Don't you cast UK Seer?
No comment.
That's why. That's why.
That probably. I mean, it probably is. I'm not going to lie, but but the point still stands. It's so demoralizing to play heart and soul into a double overtime and come out the loser. That it takes a special kind of player to come back from that. And obviously these teams, some of the best around, and they are going to be able to do that. But it's still going to be pretty tricky.
Yeah, never fun to play that many rounds and still get a loss. Of course, I can agree with that. Big setting up outside of B. This time not wanting to repeat the fast pace that we just saw, just holding off slow. One player holding the rotations off of middle as well, but we've seen mousesports with pretty passive A holds. This time they've actually got 3 players set up towards it. So not a lot of A control or B control, but it means Chris J is now up there with the AWP and Stiko holding off onto the connector. He's going to be fully blinded. Into the door he goes. Chris J going to have to hit the shot, but it's only a 1v1. Now he can hold off the plateau from this position. He's in a really good spot because there's no one coming in from behind. He takes a second, doesn't realize the behind is clear, but Tabson rounds up and Chris J finds a third. Great defense on the plateau, leaves just Keeve alive. And mousesports looking to find their 19th.
Putting them into the lead in this second overtime. Keeve takes his eyes off the ball just for a second at the wrong time, and Chris J capitalizes beautifully. 19 rounds now on the board, so that's the first round of the second overtime. They find... Oh, 2
Don't
more?
worry,
Okay,
more pauses.
Probably another pause, why not? A tactical pause for big. Do they get more pauses if it goes to overtime?
That's a really good question.
This is one of those questions that we don't have the answer to, and probably won't find out until
the thing is,
broadcast.
yeah, it's not something you think about until you actually get into overtime. Yeah, so no one knows it. It's not something you think about until you get into overtime, and then you go, wait, do they get more pauses? I don't know. Judging by the amount of pauses that Big have already used in regulation, I'm going to go with yes. But that's a completely...
It could be no, and they could be breaking the rules, though.
Let's just not even... Let's not even get into that conversation. I do not want to be caught up in the middle of something. 19-18 though, mousesports finally taking the lead again, because it seems like every round Big seem to take it and mousesports kind of just equal it up and be like, yeah, I can get rounds too, and not take the lead. So it's nice to see them now in a commanding front on the CT side. Obviously they got 2 out of 3 rounds in the last CT side, and looking to continue that, maybe even find all 3 this time. There's double up still in play, single one up on Keeve and flash into middle. Oscar is going to be looking on top of the smoke to try and find a pick, nothing there.
Just looking towards this B-bomb site, it seems. The bomb's still playing ever passive. Once more, the first 30 seconds completely forgotten in this round. Oscar, though, could be double facing here. He'll find himself in a bit of hot water as well if he's not able to get the pick. Tabson, meanwhile, across the map, able to pick it up onto Robs. Oscar flicks it up nicely, but next trades it back. Sunny's in the wings, ready and waiting, finds 2 on the spray, and that is going to be devastating to the push. mousesports trying their utmost to hold it down, and it's going to be Sunny bringing out the deagle, but it's not going to be quite enough. Keeve able to take that one down, but Stiko with a fast rotate through is coming onto the back line, and it's going to be Keeve to try and hold face. Big have 2 players versus 2. The smoke whiffs, has to jump through. And it's going to be Tabson as well, trying to hold. The bomb is down. They all know where it is. All these players playing around the same position. None daring to step in. And that's going to be Stiko taken down really, really low. 12 HP left. Keeve has 64, so that's not going to be too bad for him, and it's going to be the bomb picked up. A site completely overrun, and mousesports rotate fully towards this B bomb site. Are they going to go for the retake, or are they going to go for the save? There's no point saving here.
No one saves an OT, especially not 16k LMR3. They're going to be going for this, and they have the weaponry to do so. Bogdan still remains strong, as Stiko is going to be thrown over the AWP because he's low as they start to push on it. Nice nade, but it won't result in anything as tabseN peeks through it, and he won't expect Cbble from the same position. Jumps onto the site, but the bomb's not planted for him. It's going to be out in the open for Keeve, and now he has to stick it. Running out of time. No, he's going to be exposed. I'm sure he can get the wallbang in time. Keeve doesn't think he's sticking it. Oh my god, Cbble! What a post plant! No way! It looked like you couldn't even see him on Keeve's screen. I'd love to go back and see Keeve's perspective there.
That was crazy. He missed the first shot, which was so crucial. If he'd have landed that, Big would have taken the round, but obviously he didn't.
It didn't look like
and
he was
Chris
sticking.
J, he was behind the corner. It didn't look like he could have been doing that. I mean, even with the graphic, the relatively new graphic of the wires going from the defuse kit to the bomb would have been going through the wall, clipping through the brush there, and it wouldn't have necessarily been coming up on the screen, and that is absolutely devastating for Big. They need to take this round now.
Yeah, this could be a 3-0 for mousesports, and then all they need is one T-side round. Considering Big's pretty much been in the lead of a vast majority of this game, to see it flipped on its head in OT number 2 is where things all go wrong, and it continues. Sunny plays bait with Oscar, and he'll be able to take down God B alone up towards long, so no possibility of a refrag for Big. They have to take it on the chin. Down a man and regrouping back towards B with the bomb in tow as well, making its way late. In the hands of Keeve, we're going to see Big attempt to push their way into the B site, but these drops have been heard. Rops knows exactly what's going on. He's going to be holding the window for a little bit more as well, wants to take a pick, but instead he walks into B. Bolsters the defense. 3 players here, and I like the boost from Big, but it will net themselves nothing.
Well, net themselves that info that there is actually a player playing in connector, but it does mean they have to fall back from that window position. Stiko again with a push through the smoke. He's been doing this time and time again to great effect. That flash is going to pop him through, and he's behind once again, able to get the spray, and the signature move from Stiko comes up Big, trying to find himself a second, but he is just going to have the other player back off, and that is going to be Big with a 3 versus 4.
But look at the reaction from Big. They've rotated their plays through connector and brought the bomb that didn't commit to B back through middle. So while he's being chased by Stiko on the retake, we've got Sunny on the site defending. 2 massive kills. Bomb dropped and simply not enough time for tabseN. He's got to run all the way across and then back. But Cbble will catch him before he even makes it. And mousesports, a flawless CT side. What a great final round to finish things off. You couldn't ask for some more, more entertaining Counter-Strike than that.
One more round is all that stands between mousesports and the victory. One more round is all it will take for Big to lose here on Cobblestone. Moving into the second half of the second overtime, Big need to come up huge.
You do indeed.
Oh, goodness, I'm just exhausted from the fantastic Counter-Strike.
This is a fun game. Like while it's sloppy here and there, I'm liking it. I'm finding it entertaining, and a lot of fancy moves being shown by both teams.
Are you appreciating the architecture?
I'm appreciating the architecture. As always. I see you've given up with your table. You're not logging the rounds anymore.
That's because we've got the full stats on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It's
because you lost your mind because we're 40 rounds deep. I don't blame you. You can admit it. This is a safe place.
40 rounds deep. That's a band name.
That's what I get called. Well, we're back into overtime at number 2, the second half. And potentially mousesports' path to victory paved if they can just pick up 1 out of the next 3 rounds here. They've moved over to the T side, and they are going to be competing for this first map victory in EPL tonight.
Double AWP setup coming out from Big, Legia and Keeve. Both just going to be picking those up. The scopes firmly looking at mousesports, trying to peek out anything. They cannot give anything up. Don't want to put themselves in the spot where they are at a disadvantage in any of these rounds. So aggressive peaks really aren't going to be the name of the game. mousesports might want to be trying to capitalize on that, obviously, with those aggressive plays, trying to catch Big off guard if they can. The aggression coming out from Sunny, starting to push on the long.
Oh, Legia! He didn't spot him. Oscar just takes him down in the smoke, and it seems like Legia didn't even react. So the Molotov. The flames completely, I guess, hiding Oscar from view. It's now mousesports in the 1 round they need. They take the man advantage. Double setup towards the stables here from God B and tabseN, close in the wood. It's Big They throw in a bit of a curveball by having 2 players here, but mousesports aren't hungry anymore. They fall back towards a B site. So this double stack that could have netted big something really effective is now going to have 0 effect into this round. Mousesports have fully rotated, other than Stiko just trying to hold mid rotations. Mousesports are about to walk into B, face the AWP of Kyiv.
Devastating as it has been through the rounds, through this map. Once more, they need to face it. Once more onto the breach as they start their push. mousesports open it up with a fallen comrade. tabseN able to get the best of Stiko, and time is ticking away. Kyiv lands a shot onto Crisj, finds one, traded back by Sunny. Next, not watching his angles, but he is able to turn it back. tabseN finds the second one as well, and Robs falls, and mousesports don't clinch out the victory just yet. Big still in it.
Still in it to win it, or at least bring it to a third overtime here, as mousesports had a flawless first half. I imagine we might see it here.
I think this would be the first third overtime we've seen in the EPL so far.
That's a good stat, and I will not argue on that. That sounds very, very possible. Not many games are this close, and to think we're only map 1 of this 2-map series.
Actually, I think that's a lie.
Well, we'll find out.
I think we've seen a 25-22.
We'll do some research later. We'll find out. Next, close in the smoke, broken wall. As he just holds on. There's going to be no one contesting, only Rops spraying a little bit, but he'll fall back and group up with the players on A. mousesports again trying their luck at this side of the map. They had success on it previously in their first OT, but this time they need to just get 1 out of these 2 rounds. Rops tasked with splitting in through the drop down, everyone else making their way up through long and middle respectively, and we've got this double setup again here from Big, this time on the outside of the stables, both Legia and tabseN here. This is not something very common for a setup because it means you don't have much information on middle, but if it works, if mousesports push up long, this could be devastating.
These passive stacks coming out from Big on the A site haven't come through yet, but if they do, it could be devastating to the mousesports lineup. Rops trying to take face, but it's not going to work out for him. Does do a significant chunk of damage, but it's going to be the rest of the players starting to push on towards A. Stiko gets taken out almost immediately. Next chimes in as well. Turns the corner, finds a second. Finally shut down by Oscar, but the damage is done. That is going to be 2 players left standing for Mouse, and it's going to be Rops taken down by Legia. Now it's just Oscar. Has the AWP. Is going to find 1 shot onto tabseN. Turns the corner looking for the second. Just turns away at the wrong time. Is getting faced off from the underpass. Tries to go for it, lands the shot, is behind the SWAT van, has a bit of cover. Versus 2 now. mousesports could find what they're looking for. Kyiv taken down to 36 HP. He is all on the swivel. 8 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds left. Turns around the corner and Legia just shuts it down. Big now with a chance to take us to the third overtime. 20-21 is the scoreline, going so even across every single round. At the start, Big had a 9-1 lead, and now look at them. Second overtime, potentially going to a third if they can clinch out this round against Mouse.
And this is, again, this is another example why we love more money in overtime, because now we have mousesports actually buying. Usually they'd be eco, and we've been going, okay, Big and pretty much guaranteed a third overtime, but now rifles are in. Again, we're still under question. Utility, fairly good for mousesports as well, and the AWP on Oscar that's been having so much effect. These AWPs have been going off for both teams. Many of them have been picked up for either side. mousesports, to think they had a flawless CT side, and now Big are going to do the exact same. It's definitely looking realistic here for these CTs, but again, we're not over. mousesports, heavy outside the B site, drop down control as well. Molotovs are in, makes me think they might be committing to this. As they start to move on through, there's going to be no one contesting from Big. A drop in, and Oscar will fall with the flashbang, so they don't actually hear him make his way into the drop, but they give up control, so they're aware of the possibility. Kyiv, in the meantime, has dropped Rops. Big have taken the man advantage, but Oscar, he's still behind enemy lines.
tabseN very wary. That flash is going to give a little bit of a hint. Oscar obviously unscoping. Sunny actually on the A site, able to find Legia. The bomb's starting to rotate through because they have got good positions here. Oscar able to close off any rotates if they so choose, but that's going to be tabseN coming out on top. Crisj takes him down straight away and finds a second onto Nex, and now it's just Kyiv between mousesports and victory. They have 1 player left. It's all or nothing, and he just chucks his gun away. Why not? Crisj closes it out, and that is going to be mousesports taking their second overtime victory on Cbble. Looking at Train now.
They really took that to the wire. Very, very close to think that, you know, they could have closed that out in the first round, the second half. They take it all the way to the third. But a great win for mousesports nonetheless. I'm very impressed at the performance from both teams. Mistakes, great plays, entertainment, and breaks as well. But a great match. And yeah, mousesports, I feel like coming into this match, we thought it was going to be fairly close. We didn't, you know, neither of us went, oh, one team's definitely going to win. You know, earlier we had Astralis LDLC, we went, okay, this should be an Astralis matchup. LDLC could upset, but realistically, probably not. And now coming into this one, we went, okay, it will probably be close. And it really was.
So yeah, you can see it was a 9-1 scoreline to Big right at the start. And from this point, I was like, well, Big are just going to win, right? Like, obviously they're going to win. But mousesports said no. They said, we've got what it takes, and they certainly proved that. I mean, they came back to take it a second overtime. I mean, nothing says evenly matched teams and good games like second overtime.
Yeah, and now to think that I asked you after first half, I think, for your prediction for the second map, or we had that short break, and you said you wanted to wait till we've seen this match, so we have a little more information to play with, so we know how these teams are performing. Well, now I'm going to ask you the same question. You have no information, because how the hell is Train going to go?
We have plenty of information. We have plenty of rounds on the board. And what this says to me is both teams have strong CT sides on maps like Cobblestone, which potentially, maybe they're not so familiar with. I mean, they're going to be very familiar with, but compared to other maps, they're not going to be super, super comfortable. But to be able to pull out CT sides like that, I think, yeah, look at this. So
this can't see him.
This is what we're seeing. You literally cannot see him on the corner. He goes for the shot through the wall, but it just is not enough. And that is, so it was quite interesting to be able to see that the bomb could actually be diffused there.
Yeah, very weird. I'd like to see someone actually try that out in some test server and work out how it works. Yeah, that'd be great if they could tweet that into us. That'd be very nice. I'd like to see how the bomb kind of works around corners, because I don't think we've ever seen that before. At least I haven't. But either way, we will leave you now for a break. We're going to have Train coming up in just a few minutes. That will again be mousesports versus Big. How many more overtimes will we see? Find out very shortly.